All right, thanks everyone. Like I said, my name's Hannah, and I'm really excited to share the Diamond Heights safety wall with you all tonight. Some of you may be wondering what the heck is a safety wall and where is it? The Diamond Heights safety wall was actually built in 1968, but the story of the safety wall starts some decades earlier. This area of San Francisco had been sparsely populated because the streets had been laid out in a gridiron fashion over the steep hills and really just weren't economically viable to develop for many decades. But facing a severe housing shortage due to the population boom that followed World War II, the San Francisco Redevelopment Agency set its sight on the rural hills of Diamond Heights, which is near the geographic center of the city, just south of Twin Peaks. Deeming it blighted due to economic disuse and dislocation, the redevelopment agency acquired the properties through eminent domain, and they hired planner Vernon DeMars to design a new master plan for the neighborhood. And you can see here the new master plan included curved streets that really hugged the natural topography of the site and provided these incredible views of the bay and downtown and Glen Canyon from the homes there. In order to spur interest in development in Diamond Heights, the redevelopment agency sponsored an initial design competition for a multi-family housing site on Red Rock Hill, which is shown in orange in this inset map. And the competition would really set the tone for high quality modernist architectural design in the neighborhood. The competition drew some 90 entries from teams across the country, and semi-finalists included really fantastic examples of innovative and avant-garde modernism, like this scheme by Jan Lubitsch Nietzsche with Mario Ciampi, who Ethan's going to talk about later tonight, actually. But of course, the developer chose a less futuristic option from the 4 finalists than that one. So this was the winning competition entry. These are condos by the local firm Cohen and Leverson that are located along Diamond Heights Boulevard. And they exhibit some classic tenets of modernism. They have geometric massing, the flat roofs, cantilevered awnings and balconies. But there's this distinctly Bay Area regional flavor seen in the use of wood shingles and expressive glazing that connect indoors and outdoors, just like Roger Lee in a way. And I just mentioned this all to provide some architectural context for Diamond Heights and the safety wall. This neighborhood's really filled with examples of single family residences and tracts of homes that are designed in this distinctly Bay regional idiom of mid-century modernism. And that includes a tract of about 100 homes by Joseph Eichler, who built thousands of beloved mid-century modern homes throughout the Bay Area. These were designed by Claude Oakland for Eichler, and they're quite unusual because they're multi-story and have no side yards, which is not very typical of Eichler's elsewhere. And it's actually these Eichler homes that inspired the need for the Diamond Heights safety wall, because the redevelopment agency was worried that cars turning off Portola Drive onto Clipper and Diamond Heights Boulevard might fly off the road and down the hill into the rear of the Eichler homes below the hill. The redevelopment project was completed in 1978, and the neighborhood had increased in population from less than 400 people to over 7,000 people. So, of course, that means a lot more traffic, and cars cruising at high speeds on the crosstown thoroughfare of Portola would be turning into this new, more quiet residential neighborhood. So the redevelopment agency decided there needed to be a vehicle safety barrier on that curve, but wanted to elevate the barrier from just mere infrastructure, and saw an opportunity to commission a public work of art. So they hosted another design competition, this time in collaboration with the San Francisco Arts Commission. And here we see competition winner Stephen Alexander Novak's initial design proposal. However, the design looks a bit dangerous if you were going to actually hit it with a car. And Novak did end up refining his proposal, as we see on the right, to become a bit more wall-like. Novak was born in 1918. He was a Bay Area architect and artist who taught sculpture at the architecture program of UC Berkeley for 7 years, beginning in 1951. And while he was a professor, he actually taught sculpture to the now famed architect Mark de Suervo, whose red metal sculptures you see, I'm sure you've seen somewhere. I just love that Novak's home studio, you could see the models of the safety wall in the window there. Here's the finalized design. This is kind of a pre-Photoshop montage of the scale model. You can see the sculpture is abstract, modernist, and really picks up on the local material palette using untreated redwood. The Eichler homes would be down the hill just behind where the model is. Novak's sculptural safety wall was selected for both its functionality and what the jury observed was its, quote, strong, bold design statement. And here you can see how well the sculpture responds to the geometry and material of Cohen and Leverson's architecture behind. It really is not surprising, perhaps, that they selected this design because Cohen and Leverson actually served on the competition jury. In this straight on view, you can see the bold pattern of solid and void that's created by the redwood elements. And kind of importantly, from a design standpoint, it's oriented so that the sun shines through the back and creates this really interesting play of light and shadow on the street. And you can see that effect of shadow illustrated on this promotional brochure that was published by the redevelopment agency. And it also demonstrates here how the safety wall kind of functioned as an abstract kind of welcome to Diamond Heights sign and served as a visual landmark for the new neighborhood and a signal of its architectural design quality. For all its bold modernism, Novak did include a few surprising figurative elements contrasting with the abstract geometry. According to his nephew, the flower and dragonfly motifs were tributes to his wife and 2 daughters. Today, the safety wall remains as a monument to the high design ideals of Diamond Heights, and of course functions as a vehicle barrier, although there's been some more mundane metal barriers that have been added as well. The natural unstained wood has weathered and kind of gives a patina that now fades into the background of the trees that have since grown up behind it. And without the sunlight to stream through it, the safety wall has lost some of its original dynamism and often goes unnoticed by vehicles and pedestrians. But I'm happy to say that the San Francisco Arts Commission has recently acquisitioned the sculpture from DPW and has prepared studies for its ongoing maintenance. And the city just approved $65,000 in the budget for its restoration. So that's a great sign. I'm hoping the restoration will help bring the safety wall back to its kind of visual prominence to serve as a landmark for the neighborhood's architectural legacy of Bay Regional modernism.